Hello and welcome to this week's Monday Moments. This week coming to you live from my office on a day that I am not supposed to be at work, but I'm working on a project for all of you who may be watching the video, this video, and thinking, boy, I wish I could actually make it to the theater and see that wonderful production of Silent Sky. Well, starting tomorrow, you will be able to see Silent Sky online through our Vimeo channel. But in order to make that happen, there's other work that needs to happen. But speaking of Silent Sky, I want to thank everyone who attended our opening weekend of Silent Sky this last week. It's always wonderful to get people into the auditorium again and to experience the greatness of going to a live show, and the audiences just really responded so wonderfully well to this beautiful show that is Silent Sky. Now, because of the pandemic times, we understand that some people can't make it to the theater right now, and that's okay. And so, fortunately, a lot of the publishing companies have been pretty lenient about allowing you to record shows and make them available to people online. So, we recorded opening night performance of Silent Sky, and this is the second show that we've recorded live in front of a studio audience, as they say. And as we are doing more of these, we're learning more and more lessons about how to do it effectively, because we're a theater. We do live stuff. I didn't go to film school. That's the other person who works here. He went to film school. So we're learning how to, record and edit these videos of our live performances so that we can make them available. So we're learning things along the way, and some of the stuff that we're learning along the way has to do with video editing software. You can see, actually I'm going to show you, I've got this set up so you can kind of see my screens here. And so you see, I'm doing the actual video editing in a piece of software called Adobe Premiere, and we're using Adobe Premiere Elements on this computer just because it's a simplified version of it. We do have access to the full fancy version of Adobe Premiere, and that's installed on some of Tyler's machines. So I'm using the Premiere Elements on here. It's a little time-consuming. Video editing is actually really time-consuming, much more than you would think it should be, only because it takes a while for video files to render. Their video files are huge files once they're loaded in, and this computer that I have here, when I bought it, I didn't intend to do video editing. This, I was going to do, it was for spreadsheets and writing press releases and doing some photo editing. Now it's doing sound editing and video editing and all kinds of stuff. So anyway, one of the things that we found is to get good audio quality on a live performance is really, really key and important. Now, with our plays, we don't usually mic the individual actors for a play. And we do for musicals, but we don't for a play. And so with this play, we weren't going to do it. We weren't going to mic the individual actors. Also, because that would mean that we'd have to bring in a separate soundboard operator in order to mix the sound live from the live soundboard there. And one of the things that we were doing as far as taking precautions is that we are only having one person up in the control booth instead of 2 or 3 people up in the control booth. We're doing only one person in the booth, and Brandon is an amazing stage manager, but he only has 2 hands, and so he's running all the lights and all of the regular sound and video projection cues in the show. And there's no way to do a separate mix for just the audio wireless mics on the actors. So we're pulling the sound for this video from the hanging area mics that are always on the stage. And but one of the things that we found out was we're using our fancy dancy LEDs and moving lights is that they make a lot of noise. If you've ever been to the theater when we're using those, you hear like these fans running all the time. Well, that's the lighting equipment. So one of the things that when we listen to the audio for the first time, and I'm going to play it, and hopefully you'll be able to hear it on the live video here. So maybe you can hear that background fan noise.
Heaven is up there, they say.
And it just sits there in the track the whole time. Well, fortunately, we do all of our audio editing in a product called Adobe Audition. And it's a pretty fancy, high-end audio editing software. And someone finally figured out how to apply certain filters and stuff on it. And so what we did was we were able to isolate and pull out the sound of those lights from the mix that'll go into the video. And so you can hear the difference now.
Heaven is up there, they say. Pearly cloud.
But hopefully you could hear through the camera here the difference in how that mix came out. And so that's the mix that we're going to be putting into the video of Silent Sky. And then you can see on my screen here, I've got the video up. I'm actually in the process of editing right now. We had 3 live cameras set up, and they were a wide angle shot of the whole stage. On the screen right now, this is the camera at stage left, or stage right, sorry. And then there was another camera that was aimed at stage left, so that we could kind of pick and choose between the different camera angles on this. But the audio that you're hearing is actually the audio that was recorded directly out of the soundboard. So it's a cleaner audio sound than what these little video cameras were having. But also, even though we're not using the video camera audios, there's a whole bunch of other technical things that I'm not going to really bore you with, but we had to go through and run all these video cameras through a special filter that each camera took about 2 hours for the computer to process. So pretty much all day Saturday, I was just sitting in here running these filters through the computer, just so that the files, we were able to use them. But anyway, that is what's going on with the editing the video stuff for Silent Sky. The plan is to have that video posted and available for people to watch. Starting tomorrow at noon is when it is scheduled to premiere on our Vimeo channel. You can go to our website, theactorscommunityplayers.com/tickets, and there is a link there that will send you to our Vimeo page, and you can pre-order your streaming tickets for Silent Sky. But if you don't want to watch a streaming version with my self-educated video editing skills, you can still catch the show live this weekend with limited in-person seating. And the show is just tremendous. The cast is doing such a great job. The audiences have been absolutely loving it. And I just want to say that personally, the show looks beautiful, and even though the video looks good, it doesn't compare to seeing the visuals of the show in person. So if you can come, and if you feel safe enough to come on out to the show in person. Everyone is required to wear masks the entire time they're in the building, and we do temperature checks and do all kinds of things to make sure that everyone is safe involved. A couple of other quick things. We did also announce that our next show in our COVID-modified season is going to be, because we're going to keep producing live events as long as we can because we feel it's important to produce those. But we are going to be doing a show called Murderers as a COVID substitution. Murderers is a series of 3 monologues set in a Florida retirement community, and odd things have been happening in this retirement community, and so the 3 individuals tell their stories about what's happening in this retirement community. And that's going to be auditioning next Monday and Tuesday. It's only 3 actors, 1 man, 2 women, and the great thing about this show being constructed as all monologues is that everyone can rehearse separately. So the 3 actors in the show will very rarely ever be in the building at the same time. Tyler Rinney, Associate Director, is going to be directing that show. And like I said, auditions are coming up next Monday and Tuesday. You can learn more about those auditions on our website as well. And there will probably shortly be a Facebook event for those auditions. So we are requiring everyone to sign up for an audition slot if you want to audition for that show, and follow all of our safety procedures that will be outlined on the audition page. Okay, 2 more things I need to say before we wrap things up here. Finally, thank you to everyone who donated to Big Give Gauge last week. We raised nearly $5,000 to help with our COVID mitigation efforts. And then the very final thing is that we want to say congratulations to Brandon Clark, who received the Mary Ellen Morgan Award on opening night of Silent Sky. That is our service award for people who have made outstanding contribution to community players in the arts in Southeast Nebraska. And so Brandon received that award at the end of the show. He was in the booth, stage managing the show, yep, right at the end of the curtain call, I popped my head up in the booth and I said, "Kill the exit music. I gotta go do something." And I run up to the front and give him the award, and he reluctantly came down to accept. So anyway, that is going to wrap us up for this week. I am going back to my editing, and hopefully we will see you at Silent Sky or next week live. Thanks a lot.